Welcome back to talknorth.com. Thank you for listening. If you can, please download before you listen. It helps our business. I'd also like to thank our producer, Brandon Morton, and let you know if you'd like to sponsor this program or any of the programs on the network, you can reach me at mshsl-org@gmail.com. Preps Today with John Millea is back. We have just started doing shows again this fall. This is our prep sports show on talknorth.com, the rapidly growing Minnesota sports and other stuff podcast network. You can find all the shows at talknorth.com. As I say every week, thanks to producer Brandon Morton. And please, when you listen, download before you listen. It helps us out greatly as we're starting to talk to a lot of national advertisers, and they care about downloads. For some reason, they don't care about listens. It's a weird thing, but we would like to break through with them. We're going to hopefully be announcing some big deals here soon coming up. So do us that favor if you don't mind. We'd like to keep expanding the network. We do keep adding really cool people. I'm really glad we added the John Millea Show. John is the prep writer at mshsl.org. You can find John's journal there. John goes all over the state in his trusty Toyota to find all these cool stories, and he does all of them first person. It's really a Herculean task that John has taken on.
That's a big word, Jim. I don't know.
I kind of made it up. I don't know if I even pronounced it right, but we're not going to double check that right now. We're just going to move forward.
Move on.
So, John, where do you want to start? Oh, and let me thank our current sponsor, Gourmet Parlor Pizza, gourmetparlorpizza.com. We'll tell you later on in the show how you can enjoy their pizza, also how you can use Gourmet Parlor Pizza for your school or your organization's fundraiser. Where do you want to start today, John?
Let's start with the music that opens and closes the show.
Good.
We would love to have marching band music, pep band music. So if you're listening and you're in a band at a school, or you're a band director, or you know somebody in a band or a band director, send me an audio clip of one of your band's music. We'll give you a shout out here. Just email them to me, Millea, JMILLEA at mshsl.org, or ask me on Twitter. Send me those clips that we can open and close the show with. We'd love to showcase a lot of different bands from a lot of different schools, and let's get that ball rolling. As somebody said on Twitter, I was mentioning the marching band from Rochester, Mayo, and somebody, I don't know, basically the word was, John has band cred. He knows bands, and I am a former band parent. I love the bands, so let's get some band music on here.
Absolutely. And if you'd like to sponsor this program or anything else on the network, reach me at jsouhan47@gmail.com. So I am at the Viking game on Sunday. Cousins does his podium appearance. He's very smooth. He gets done. He goes over, and somebody with the organization brings over a kid who wanted to meet him, a nice young man. And he says, "Where are you from?" The kid says, "I'm from Lakeville." And Kirk Cousins goes, "Oh, wow, Lakeville North beat Eden Prairie."
There you go.
How about that?
Kirk has jumped right into the culture here.
Right in. And he is a nerd. He admits it, and he is.
Yep. No, and that was kind of a thunderclap. Anytime Eden Prairie loses a football game, much less in week 2. And Lakeville North beat them 14-0. Lakeville North's got some big, strong boys, and kind of out Eden Prairie. The Eagles, just kind of was bigger and stronger. And the shocking thing is, Eden Prairie could be 0-2. In week 1, they beat Eastview 14-9, and that went down to the wire. And this week, Eden Prairie plays Prairie Lake, which is 2-0. So this is a good test for the Eagles to come back. You never doubt Eden Prairie football. Mike Grant's as sharp a coach as we've ever had in any sport. You never count them out, but this is a good test this week with Prairie Lake.
I remember when I was living right across the street from Lakeville North High School, the Larry Thompson's team,
the great Larry Thompson,
Prairie, and that was quite a big thing for that community.
You bet.
What's the game of this week?
Yeah, well, I'm going to go to my game of the week from last week. I went, like I said, I talked about the Rochester Mayo marching band. I went down there to Rochester. Owatonna played football at Mayo Friday night. A Big 9 conference game, great rivalry. And the star here is Jason Williamson, senior running back from Owatonna. He's committed to the Gophers. He's a big kid, 6'2", 205, 210. And it was interesting. He had some kind of nagging injury from the summer. So their first game of the season, kid carries twice. And that's it. He didn't touch the ball. I mean, he might have caught a pass. So everybody's thinking, is he healthy? Is he healthy? Well, he carries the ball the first 2 plays of the game, knocks people down. The 4th play of the game catches a pass. He ended up rushing for almost 300 yards. I think it was 296. Really a nice player. Owatonna doesn't have a lot of kids back from the 5A state champs, but he's one of them and one offensive lineman. And really, really a fun team to watch. Mayo hung with them for a while, but it ended up being kind of a blowout. But I talked about the marching band. They were great. The Mayo dance team. Place was full. It's a big crowd. Every seat was taken. People lining, the fence around the field. If people remember Friday night, the weather was unbelievable. It was just as much fun as you could have at a high school football game. And I love going to Rochester. It's a great town. They love their sports down there. And really a great night.
Excellent. The future is mobile.
Yeah, another high school football note. Edina High School has stopped printing game programs for football games. It's all on your phone. And you go to hornetfb.com. You can look at this thing. It's unbelievable. Photos, profiles of players, rosters for both teams, schedules. It's really high tech. And this is going to happen. I mean, at the high school league, we have this discussion a lot for our state tournaments. We still print programs. We've shrunk them down. They're smaller than they used to be. But in some states around the country, they don't print programs at state tournaments.
Interesting.
You can order them online and have one mailed to you. They'll print on demand. But this is pretty exciting. Edina has done this. And like I said, go to hornetfb.com. Take a look at this because this is something that we're going to see more of. And it's not old school. Grandpa and Grandma aren't going to like it. They want to get that program when they walk in. But for everybody else, who's tech savvy, even old guys like me, it's pretty interesting.
Speaking of old people, I'm not sure I like it. Because here's the thing. I'm pro green, so I like the fact that you're not chopping down trees to do programs. So I'm on board in that regard. What I wonder about, though, is, you can save a program.
Right. It's a memento.
You can save a program, and also there's nothing worse to me than looking at a crowd at a sporting event and seeing everybody staring at their phone.
Yeah. And part of this, too, is if I'm sitting in a press box covering the game, I want the piece of paper with everybody's names and numbers and weights because I like to track the offensive lineman, how big's everybody.
Hard to write notes on your iPhone.
It's really hard to do that. Yeah, I haven't done that. I haven't gone to an Edina game and tried to do this paperless. I don't know if I can do it. And maybe they do have some printed ones. Maybe you can pay for one. I don't know. But they're basically going online. And that kind of takes us into the next topic of modern technology, Snapchat. I'm not a big Snapchat user. But this is where the high school kids are. And we have a Snapchat account at the high school league, mshsl-1. And I didn't invent this, but we've got high school kids one day each week. I'm granting them the authority to run our Snapchat account.
Yeah, I saw that.
So we've done this twice now. Last week, Josh Taylor from Breck. This week, Ethan Humble. What a great name. Ethan Humble from Stewartville. They each took over in the morning when they start their day and run it through night. And both these guys turned out to be soccer players, so we got looks like Ethan had snaps from the bus on the way to a soccer game, I think at Casson Manorville, at a quick trip after the game when the kids all stopped for snacks. And it was really good. So we're going to try to do this one day every week. I've got a long list of kids from schools who are in line to do this. And basically all I ask is, have your activities or your athletic director send me an email vouching for you, or ADs, find the kid you think will do it. Let me know. And I give them a temporary password that lets them have it for a day, and a really good reaction to that. So we're trying to get kids involved. We call it the Snapchat Takeover. And it's been kind of a really, after 2 weeks, it's pretty successful. It's really been fun. And, I got to warn the kids, you're representing your school. And that's why I want the ADs to vouch for these kids. They're going to pick kids who aren't going to do things they shouldn't. And it's all been positive and really fun, kind of an inside look in classrooms and the hallways at school and the soccer team on the bus. Really good, really cool stuff.
Awesome. Coming up, remembering 9/11, curling, cooperative teams, pep band of the week, food of the week, tweets of the week. And first, we want to thank Gourmet Parlor Pizza for making the show possible. GourmetParlorPizza.com, Royalton, Minnesota. Been doing this a long time, and they make great pizza, but they are also experts at fundraising.
They sure are, Jim. And I realized something. I was looking at the Gourmet Parlor Pizza Facebook page. You can buy Gourmet Parlor pizzas at Cub Foods. Ooh. I learned. This is breaking news. So,
I did not know that.
Yeah, that's a great development. Anybody who wants to get in on pizza from our sponsor. But yeah, they're up in Royalton. They've been doing this since 1980, and they really specialize in fundraising for school groups, church groups, youth groups, the VFWs, Legion Halls. Anybody wants to do fundraising, this is really easy. And I'm not going to knock people who do giant bags of salt for your water softeners or bags of fertilizer. For football teams, that's a workout too.
This tastes better, though.
This tastes better than either of those items. And they've got more than 30 items you can pick. You'll make money on every pizza, $3 to $5 a pizza. And you can get a hold of them. Go to gourmetparlorpizza.com. Give them a ring, 888-584-5930. And our friends at Gourmet Parlor Pizza up in Royalton, Minnesota will take good care of you.
It is September 11th as we record the show.
Yes.
You probably won't hear it till September 12th or later in the week. Your thoughts?
Yeah, we talked about this a year ago, Jim. Every year this week I post this column I wrote that week in the Star Tribune, and just kind of as a memorial to what that day was like. And it talks about Tom Burnett from Bloomington Jefferson, who was on the plane that went down in Pennsylvania, and Gordy Amott from Blake, who was in one of the towers. Both lost their lives, and it's really interesting. I just post the same thing every year this week, and I got several really nice emails from people, kind of telling me their stories of what they remember, and it's really nice to get that feedback from people. But what's really interesting to me this year is, other than high school seniors, most everybody else wasn't even born yet. This is 17 years ago. And so they have no memory of it. And I'm not old enough to remember the JFK assassination. I was 4. I don't remember that. But one of these people who emailed me was talking about the principal at his school at the time, who said, kind of gathered the staff as this was all unfolding. And, how are we going to deal with the kids? What are we going to say? How are we going to handle it? And he just said, to these kids, this is the JFK assassination. That's how we have to think of it. Those of us who remember that, and it's an interesting time every year. And I did see a tweet this morning from someone connected to Bloomington Jefferson. There's a big stone behind their school at the practice field that's got a inscription to Tom Burnett and something he said in a speech. And I've been with the football team there before they get on the bus to go to a football game. And the games are not held at the school, either Bloomington Stadium or a road game. And the football team all gathers around this stone and just has a little quiet moment of reflection. Tom was a quarterback there when he was at Jefferson. So it's kind of a neat, for kids now, I think that's pretty cool to have a connection to somebody from their school who played on their team, who was a big part of the memorial there.
Right. I remember I wrote about Tom myself at that time, and it was I don't know. I'm not sure I have the right words.
No, I don't think any of us do. Right. Yeah, and we never will. Yeah.
All right, let's move on to other topical things this week. Curler John Shuster.
John Shuster, Iron Range celebrity, gold medal, leader of the U.S. curling team, Olympic champion. He's been everywhere. He's thrown out first pitches at Target Field. I think they've had him at a Vikings game. If they haven't, they will. He's a huge celebrity nationally because of TV and the Olympics. But I'm sure he had a great honor Saturday. He's from Chisholm. So I saw a photo tweeted from a football game there Saturday, Chisholm and Ely and 9-man football. John Shuster out there for the honorary coin toss. Awesome. And I bet that was pretty special for him to be back in his hometown at a football game, and where he's not just the guy who skipped the gold medal curling team. He's Johnny Shuster from Chisholm. Everybody knows him, and he's a local guy, so that's kind of cool.
Awesome. So explain cooperative teams to me and everyone else.
Yeah, for people who aren't familiar, there's a lot of co-op teams in different sports all over the state. Small schools who don't have enough kids, they'll have kids from 2 schools or more form a team. And it can really be complicated. I don't totally understand it completely, but I went to a football game Saturday. The visiting team is Providence Academy, which is a co-op. They also have football players who go to school at Maranatha Christian, West Lutheran, and Heritage Christian. So they played Academy Force. This is the home team. Game is at St. Croix Prep, which is in Stillwater. Academy Force, it's all schools from the East Metro. New Life Academy, Mounds Park Academy, Math and Science Academy, Twin Cities Academy, St. Croix Prep Academy, and Liberty Classical Academy. Thus, the team name is Academy Force. And they play their home games at St. Croix Prep. And Saturday afternoon game, it was great. It was kind of small-town football, with these co-op teams. The turf field, brand new at St. Croix Prep. There's some bleachers. The press box is a table in the top row of the bleachers. There's no lights yet. Those are coming. It's